bring nips on the plane and drink them.
Welcome back to Advocacy Alchemy with Professor Ross. Today we got a good one, guys. We've covered people arrested before boarding and people dragged off planes before takeoff. But what happens when someone makes it through the entire flight and the arrest still comes? This case is exactly that. We're heading down to Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood International Airport. This is in Broward County. We're in Florida. Deputies were waiting for a disruptive group of passengers. They didn't get pulled off midair, no emergency landing, but the behavior at 30,000 feet, it had real consequences after touchdown. So with that, let's jump in.
How are you going, guys? So we got a couple intoxicated passengers. One is 19 years old. I didn't physically see him drinking. I only physically saw him handing the empty alcohol bottles to his friend. Now, they weren't drinking our alcohol. They bought some of our alcohol, but they handed us a total of 7 different minis that is not ours, which they're not allowed to consume any alcohol that we don't provide.
Do we have names?
I don't know. It's a big party, so I don't know if they're all traveling together. They switch seats. All I know, they're sitting in 23 Charlie, Delta, Echo, and Foxtrot.
So what are they doing? They're drinking?
Being obnoxious, loud, when I went, they were told numerous times to keep it down, and the one in 23F was getting agitated and confrontational, and they were being non-compliant.
Which one was that one?
23F.
Come on, and we'll talk to them, and then you just tell them what you need to tell them.
If you can grab the boarding passes, that's going to help a lot.
Alright, so grab all 4 of them
Yes, please.
and their boarding passes. Okay. Now have boarding passes. They can't find their boarding passes.
Okay, just get everybody up.
Okay.
You have an ID?
Yeah.
How old are you?
19.
You drinking alcohol in the airplane?
No, I didn't. It was just the other 3 girls.
Who's that? How we doing? Don't have IDs with you?
Can I see your boarding pass, please?
You guys cause a problem in the airplane? Not listening to the flight attendant?
Huh?
Being loud, obnoxious?
We were talking
to each other.
and when they told us
Right.
to quiet down, we
Let's all
quieted down.
walk out this way. Let's all go this way.
I'm gonna put you off.
Yeah.
Legit though.
Just have him stand on one side so we can
I was under the person that you can bring nips on the plane and drink them. Afterwards, I was told after I drank them.
One at a time.
After we all drank them, we were told afterwards when we were giving the trash out, we gave our empty nips, obviously, and the flight attendants told us you can't bring your own alcohol on the flight, and drink it, which I didn't know. And I completely understand that now, but we had already drank them.
So you brought alcohol to the plane and then you bought more or just whatever?
Yeah, we bought.
We did
We
drink,
bought some.
we bought more alcohol. Yeah. Not an excessive amount. I'm being completely honest. Like, we did have some and we drank it on the flight, and it was finished before we even knew that. I guess there was an announcement that you can't drink it on the flight, but I personally, none of us heard that. Like, I wouldn't have done that. I definitely wouldn't have done that.
Flight attendant that reported me because I was trying to defuse the situation. I
Literally
didn't drink
just
on the
sitting
plane.
next to
I
us.
was not even
Like, we can't
I
talk
was
on the
not
plane.
even yelling on the plane, and we weren't even
Like,
yelling on the plane.
what?
Let me explain something.
No, but like,
No, hold on.
honestly, we can't talk on the plane. Like, that's just gonna
Talking
be
on the
tight.
airplane is one thing.
23.
Okay, what you can do, what you're allowed to do out here and be loud and all of that, you can't do that inside an airplane where it's fine.
We can't talk to each other. Like, I'm right here, they're all right there, and I'm talking
It's
to
not like
them.
you
So we
say,
can't
stop
talk
the
to each
plane.
other.
You can talk. But if you were talking to each other, we wouldn't be here talking right now, right?
We were.
So what were we doing?
I'm not trying to be
Because we're being loud.
We're being loud.
Okay.
We're talking to each other,
Can I have
being
my
loud.
ID back? Because nobody gave me my ID back.
Right,
I
fine.
have it. Now I'll give it back to you when I'm done.
Can I see it?
It's right here in my
I've
hand.
been looking for it. That's not my passport. My name's
I
She can
have
go. She doesn't have to do that.
Okay.
You can leave. You can leave.
don't see my phone.
That's on you, but you can go.
That's on me.
We didn't take your phone.
It's in the plane.
We took your
so
phone.
I'm
Your phone's on the
I
airplane.
don't follow.
You got a problem with me? You got a problem with me? Because you've been on my dick since
Do
I got
you
on
want
the
to
plane.
have one with me right now?
I will if I can't find my phone. If I can't find my phone because y'all was rushing me
I
off the
just told
plane.
you to go over there.
Okay, but I can't find my phone. My phone was on the plane, so y'all can wait.
Go walk over.
No
Go
bullshit.
step over there.
Okay,
That's
I
the
will
last
when I
time I'm
find
going to
my
ask you
phone.
this question.
Okay, when I find my phone, because y'all didn't give me a chance to look for my phone when I woke up. Y'all can wait.
I think this one needs to go to the county today. We're going to go to the
Okay,
county.
the I can't find my Who are you talking to? You. I can't find my phone. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
No, you don't have to stop it. We gave you plenty of opportunities. Plenty of opportunities.
Nigga, nobody's coming to
You can go, bro. You done with him?
The reason why we're grabbing you is because you keep on pulling away. That's why. Hey,
let go of me. Y'all have my ID, but still arresting me like a bitch. Okay, and I have a mark on my wrist.
Hey, we get a criminal warrant pad now. You live here in Florida?
I live here in Florida. I live in Massachusetts, bitch, and I do have a reservation. So my reservation.
Can you reopen case number 309?
Okay, so why the f you live here? Clearly, I know. Y'all weird.
So much respect.
They have my ID. They're saying I don't have an ID, but they got it. Okay, well,
That's why the fuck I'm here.
Resistance.
let go of me because you got me in handcuffs for no reason. I don't give a I got an attitude.
That's why you're a cop.
Okay, but nobody got a attitude
Chill out.
over handcuffs,
You're
my
not
nigga.
winning right now. You're not going to win. Relax.
Stop pulling away. Stop pulling
Bro,
away.
if you break my wrist, I swear to God.
Relax. Relax. Stop tensing up.
I don't
Relax.
give a f. Go of me. You want to arrest me? Stop the police. Wait till the police come. Wait till the police come for real, because you're not against me. When you're sued, bitch, let go of me. Let go of me. Let go of me. Nobody resisted nothing. You put cuffs on me like a bitch ass nigga.
Relax.
So let go of me.
You got you in cuffs. So stop
Alright, bet.
resisting.
So now, alright, bet. Wait. I'm gonna just wait because now y'all gonna sleep for a
Thank
while.
you. Just relax.
Y'all gonna sleep for a while because nobody did nothing to y'all.
Thank you. Just relax.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for it. Can y'all record?
Level two.
Record it. Start recording.
All right, always the major takeaway from every day is that it didn't have to go down like this. This is in Florida. But first, we need to talk about a federal regulation, okay? Number 1, unauthorized consumption of alcohol on an aircraft. All right, this is found at 14 CFR section 121.575. Now, this federal regulation says that passengers are prohibited from drinking alcohol not served by airline personnel. So, bringing your own nips, as she called it, and drinking them on board, that's illegal, federally. All right, now she admitted to it. And also we have the onboard personnel talking about they received 7 bottles of those little mini alcohol bottles, not big ones, guys, just a little one-shotter. But even her claiming that she didn't know the rule, ignorance of the law is not a defense, okay? All right, let's move up one more. We have disorderly conduct. So now we're talking about the Florida laws, okay? So disorderly conduct is found at the Florida statute, section 877.03. It says, disorderly conduct includes actions that disrupt the public morals, outrage public decency, or breach the peace. Now you have the breaching the peace here while on the flight. Apparently they were disturbing the other passengers around them. They were being too loud, talking too much, all that kind of stuff, and wouldn't follow directions of the staff. Now understand that generally, screaming at the police, using profanity, and creating a scene in a major airport terminal, that all fits. All right, number 3, resisting an officer without violence. Now this is found at section 843.02, and it says refusing lawful commands and pulling away during an arrest, even without doing any violence, even without throwing any punches or kicking or biting or any of that stuff. It still qualifies as resisting. Here, the woman repeatedly ignored instructions, pulled away, and just generally escalate the situation. Next, let's move into our evidentiary standards, because they're still at play even in the air or on the ground. Let's walk through our 6 levels of legal evidence and how they apply here. First, we have mere suspicion. Now that's simply a gut feeling, and it's when the police or the government don't have enough to act legally. Now here, flight attendants may have had suspicion, mere suspicion, when they notice seat switching and loud behavior. Now that would probably set the stage for everyone to begin to pay closer attention to see if any rules are going to be violated or if any laws are going to be broken. That's what mere suspicion does. It puts everybody on alert. Moving up one level, we go to reasonable suspicion. Now, this is when the government or the police can detain someone temporarily to investigate further. This is when the police have enough facts and circumstances to believe that criminal activity is occurring. Now, the discovery of empty alcohol bottles that didn't match the airline's inventory, now that gave the crew a reasonable suspicion something was off. That's when the authorities would have a good reason to stop these people and ask them some questions. Now, moving up to probable cause. This is when an arrest becomes legal or when a search becomes legal. Here we had admitting to drinking unauthorized alcohol, being visibly intoxicated, yelling profanities, and resisting officers. That provides multiple layers of probable cause for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. Moving up to number 4, we have preponderance of the evidence. Now this one means more likely than not that the claim is true. Now this standard is used mostly by citizens when they're bringing claims against someone else, when people are suing each other for money. This standard is used in civil cases. It requires you to have 51% of the evidence in your favor to win. Here, if there were a situation where there was a lawsuit, a judge or a jury would probably be asked if she violated the policies and caused some sort of disturbance. Now, given the woman's own testimony and her behavior on camera, the answer is probably yes. They did probably disturb people around them just by the way they were acting after the fact. Number 5, clear and convincing evidence. Now, this standard is used in more serious civil matters. It also can be used by the prosecution if they want to go after certain enhancements in certain types of cases. This is not the type of case, okay? This standard means that it's substantially and highly likely that a person's claim is true. It takes about 75% of the evidence being in your favor to win this type of action. The types of actions are things like child custody cases, certain employment matters, administrative hearings dealing with people's licenses, professional licenses. Now, if this case had escalated, say, to interfering with in-flight crew mid-air, so them tussling with actually the crew, all right, prosecutors then would probably use this to go after some enhancement for the charges they gave them on the ground. Now, if the little lady and everyone else in her group were acting like she acted at the very end when she was getting arrested, and they were talking like that, yelling out the slurs and things, then yes, they definitely were a disturbance on the plane. All right, let's go to the last one. Let's go to beyond a reasonable doubt. This is the gold standard. This is used in every criminal case. This is the level that the prosecution must meet for each element. This level means that there is no other logical conclusion besides the defendant being guilty of the charges. Now here, with the officer testimony, the in-flight crew statements, the video evidence, and the group's own admissions, a prosecutor could likely meet this burden for disorderly conduct and potentially the resisting arrest. All right, so with that, let's move into our jury perspective next. Now, let's slow down a bit. Let's shift gears and let's become members of the jury. I want you to imagine you're sitting in the courtroom. You're in the jury box. You've got your notepad in front of you. You've been taking some notes as you've been listening to the whole trial. You've seen the video, you've heard the testimony, and now you got to make sense of all of it. So let's start with the big, easy question first. Do you believe this woman was intoxicated, or the members of this group? Do you believe they were intoxicated? Now, the officer didn't see her drinking anything, but the flight attendant said she returned 7 mini liquor bottles that didn't belong to the airline. She admitted that she brought them. She admitted that she drank them. Now, are her words slurred? Her tone? Now, it is a bit erratic. What about her body language? Would you call it aggressive? Now, is that enough to believe she was impaired in a public place? Now, we've had videos before of people that have been impaired and kicked out of an airport. Do you think she was at that level? Let's move to her behavior. This wasn't just about drinking, it's about the refusal to follow directions, the yelling, the accusations, the profanity. Ask yourself, did she disrupt public order at the gate? One of the busiest airports in Florida. This is at the Fort Lauderdale airport. Now let's look at the flip of this. Was she just being misunderstood and confused, frustrated, something like that? Now let's talk about that one part where she said she didn't know the rules. She said they weren't being loud and they were just talking to each other. And she said she didn't resist, she just wanted to use her phone. Now let's be honest. Is this how you'd act if you were in front of a police officer? Most of the time, don't we tighten up when we get around the law? Would you curse at them or around them? Would you yell, "Don't touch me," while physically pulling away? Now, you've seen people arrested calmly. You've seen people lose control. Where did she fall? Was she more calm? Was she more out of control? Finally, did her actions escalate this situation into a criminal matter? Because isn't this a little bit different? It wasn't so bad where they needed to land the plane early or speed up the plane to get there early. It didn't cause a mid-flight emergency. They let the plane land. But I think that her actions at the gate, that really sealed her fate. Now, if they were willing to work with the officers, everyone was nice, I think they would have been let go. But what does your gut tell you? What does your experience say? You don't need a law degree to be a juror. You just need your common sense. So based on everything you saw, everything you heard, everything you felt, would you convict or would you excuse? Let me know in the comments below. Guilty, not guilty. All right, let's bring this plane home. Even if the flight crew doesn't stop the plane, law enforcement still can. Your behavior on the plane isn't protected just because you landed safely. You can't say, well, that happened while we were a couple miles in the air and a state over. Once you enter the jet bridge, you're back in public space again. That's where public intoxication laws, disorderly conduct statutes, and resisting arrest charges all come back into play. There's no immunity for foolish behavior at the gate. This woman thought the worst was behind her once they stepped off the plane. But instead of walking to baggage claim, she walked into custody. The lesson, whether you're in the sky or at the gate, the law is still the law. Drinking your own booze, yelling at officers, refusing to comply, these things all have consequences. So finally, let me ask you, what would you have done differently? Do you think this was abuse of any authority here? Or is it just a perfect example of a person taking themselves to jail? Make sure you like, subscribe, and join the community here at Advocacy Alchemy. Remember, this is Advocacy Alchemy. I am Professor Ross. I'll see you tomorrow. Everyone have a great day. It's Friday again. Be safe out there.
Thanks for flying with us today. Remember to subscribe to Advocacy Alchemy, and we'll be back at 8:45 tomorrow morning.